Respected audience, this is Naushab Khan, Advocate High Court, Adjunct Faculty Law. 10th October is an International Day of Mental Illness. In our first session, we have discussed that what difficulties we are facing. And in my first session, which is available on this channel, you may find out that the difficulties we are facing at this moment are being discussed at length. But in this session, I would like to suggest that how can we overcome these difficulties? What are the solutions available within the given resources in order to, in fact, improve ourselves, or in order to improve the dispensation of health in our country? First of all, I'd like to start the possible solutions with the good news. And the good news is from the legislative body. That is, that in the past, mental illness was basically considered as one of the ailment, and it was not given the very factum that this ailment has its cure. And moreover, on account of mental illness, if someone ends up committing suicide, the law used to criminalize that act. Though that act in many cases is on account of mental illness, is on account of the ailment one is suffering with. But law used to criminalize suicide. In a recent amendment in the enabling law, that is Criminal Laws Act, the government of Pakistan, the parliament, has amended the relevant law. And now the very act of suicide is decriminalized. So this is a positive omen that we started realizing that this is the illness, this is the ailment, this is the sickness which needs to be cured, instead of stigmatizing this, instead of making it a criminal act which sometimes is the result of the mental illness, and that is termed as suicide. Now I may proceed with the possible solutions. First of all, the steps which needs to be taken. Number one, to increase funding for the mental health infrastructure. As I said earlier, that there are less than 500 psychiatrists for a population of 240 million people. So we need to not only improve the infrastructure, but we also are required to cultivate a new generation of trained professionals. And unless or until we are not overcoming this scarcity of professionals, I'm afraid we won't be able to provide necessary healthcare to those who are in desperate need of these healthcare services. And finally, we need to initiate awareness campaigns in eradicating stigmas associated with the mental health. So these are the few suggestions which I am of the view and I reckon can make an improvement in the given scenario. And finally, in the conclusion, I'd like to say that our call to action is clear. And without any ambiguity, I intend to say that the policymakers, community leaders, educators, families, and indeed all citizens must unite in recognition of the mental health crisis and collaboratively pave the way forward. A resilient, understanding, and supporting Pakistan must be the goal. Prioritizing mental health today ensures a brighter and healthier future for all. With these words, thank you very much for the patient hearing.